Oh, what a nice mug. What a lovely mug this is. Oh, I better stop. I've almost finished. I almost drank all the coffee in here already. Cheers, everyone. Welcome. My name's Aaron Shaw. Let's bring on our good friend, my friend and your friend, Maury Rutch. I finally got his name right. Maury Rutch. How you doing, my friend? Would you like a round of applause?
Just to be different. Sure. How you doing, Aaron? It's good to see you again.
I'm very well. The planes are flying. I'll try to mute them out with my Maury's Music Orchid microphone mute button, which I wasn't sure I needed, and now I use it all the time when these planes are flying overhead. We live near the airport, so you might hear me do that a few times. Hopefully not. So welcome, everyone. Today is March 22nd, and we'll go over and say hi to our friends in the chat, and I'll tell you what we're up to today. We have Patsy Smith, watching from Suffolk, UK. Love the deep tones of the guitar. Right, I'm going to get on. I've got a few comments to start with on that straight away, but let's just say hello to our friends. I would like you to tell us what you thought of the sound of the guitars in the intro, and I'll tell you why in a second. Marco Godsa, how you doing, Marco? Good evening to all. Aaron and Maury. Rosanna. Rosanna's birthday was yesterday. She joined me on my live stream. It was Rosanna's birthday and Marianne's birthday, and even Maury made an appearance on the live stream. And we had a jolly good old time, right, Rosanna?
Happy birthday.
As they say in England, a jolly good time. Charles, welcome. I think you're new here. You'll get one of these, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I think you're new. It says, aloha. I could never play a red guitar like that. It's quite easy. You just put it in your lap and you strum like this. Right, Maury? Can you just show? There you go. It's very easy to play. Just so you know, I'm kidding. Just so you know. I really like this guitar, actually. I like how loud it is. And you know how traditional I am with what I like? But I like the guitar. I just like that it's in your face. Can you imagine? If I show up to a gig with that, I might get labeled before I even play a song. I might get labeled as like a Bob Dylan tribute or something. That's my only fear. And I'm not really that. I mean, I do a lot of his songs, but I like this. Is this your personal guitar, Maury?
I have one of these, but this is not. This one is for sale.
Oh, very nice. Okay, yeah, I like this one a lot. Jack says, hi, everyone. Good, how you doing, Jack? Great to see you. Vic is back. Hello, all from California. Very nice. I hope to get out there next January. Lee is sniffing his sound hole with his sound hole sniffer shirt in the photo. It says, hi, Aaron and Maury and everyone. Chris Hull says, nice shirt. Oh, I thought he meant the sound hole sniffer. But yeah, this is a nice one too. I have a lot of these Martin shirts, as you can see. Roeth says, hi, all watching from Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Stephen from Bridgewater, New Jersey. Jim from Vermont. Everyone, spring is here. Nothing like HPL. So that whole guitar is HPL, right, Maury?
Everything but the bracing. A
great option for travel. If we go on some road trips this summer, that is the guitar you want to take, not your D45. Jim says, X is never out of tune. Well, of course, they're also more stable as well. They have a lot of benefits, these guitars. They do. Jim says, happy spring from Quakertown. That's near you, Maury. Just received my Soundhole Sniffer sticker. Oh, just quick. I'm honored. It's on his OM18 case.
All right.
Wow. I'm absolutely honored. Hang on. Okay, I'll just let them fly. Otherwise, I'll be here all day. Waiting for the matching t-shirt. Okay, I love saying this. Thank you for your business. Because normally guitar stores are saying that to me, and I finally get to say it. So thank you. Jim says hi from Vermont. Oh, yes, never out of tune. Oh, Philippines. Awesome. 2002. Hi, Aaron, watching from the Philippines. Welcome. We're global again. And Lee says, Maury, I just waved back at you. He's sitting at home on his couch doing this to a cell phone.
I thought you kind of did. I kind of sensed it.
All this talk of Hawaii and the Philippines, I think I might take a trip, Maury. Ah, that's better. Very nice.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Whew, it's kind of hot in here. Okay. I remember Aaron saying he once had a red what? A red face? I don't want to know what that says. Red guitar? Oh, I had a red Eric Johnson Strat once, and I really liked it. I do like red guitars. I think red guitars are really cool. I'm coming back into the room. Okay, this is what we're doing today. So, I want to know, first of all, if you were here for that intro, what did you think of the guitar today? What did you think of that sound? It's very interesting that Patsy Smith said she liked the sound of the guitar, and I'll tell you why in a second. Oh, Lee says we're on their television. Thank you. We're famous. Wow, we'll sign autographs later, Lee. We're talking about pickups. Pickups meaning to get the sound of your acoustic, your Martin guitar, through the PA system in a large venue. And this is something that I've covered. There we go. I thought you were going to sniff the guitar. I was like, come on, Maury, let's get on with the show. This is something I've covered so much on my channel. Like, the reason I started my YouTube channel, or I kind of came back to YouTube, was to document these pickups. I've done about 19 so far on the channel, where I just plug in the pickup and strum through. And I've learned so much. So I definitely wanted to bring pickups into this series, even though I'm aware some of you out there might not plug in. So do bear with us. We do have 3 or 4 guitars today. You're going to hear them through the microphone as well. So you'll have a chance to hear all these different guitars, but also through the pickup. And the reason we're doing this is because last week we were talking about this, and it sparked something in my mind, which was when you hear the pickup, you don't really hear the guitar. When we hear Maury demoing these guitars every week, he's got 2 microphones in there. We're hearing the guitar from external microphones. When you plug in the guitar, you don't hear a microphone, you're hearing the direct sound. Now be careful, because some people, sorry for the rant, Maury, I won't keep us too long, but some people in forums will tell you pickups sound terrible. And the reason is they're comparing that pickup tone to a mic tone. So what I want to say first of all is I don't think we should do that, because a microphone is a microphone and a pickup is a pickup. They are not the same thing. There are some pedals on the market now that I've had on my channel that claim to bridge the gap, so to speak, but they're not the same thing. So we will hear the guitar through the mic today and through the pickup, but don't kind of judge the pickup based on that. It's an unfair comparison. But what I want to see today is how different do these guitars sound through the pickup, even though they're all different body sizes. For example, our first guitar is, and Maury will tell me what it is because I'm not sure, a Rhodes Series OM. Is that an OM something?
That is a 00012E, so it's an OM size, but it's a 00012E in the Rhodes series.
Okay, so quite a small body, OM style body, right? And then we have the next guitar. This is obviously a Dreadnought. So is that the same series?
Same series. That's the D13E, so it's the Dreadnought version of the guitar you first started with.
And 3 is, this is an awesome new guitar that was announced at the NAMM show, right?
That's the little itty bitty baby Dreadnought Junior 10E Streetmaster. So that's the smallest guitar of today's comparison.
And number 4 is our red guitar, which is
the DX Woodstock. That's a full-size, long-scale Dreadnought with the same pickup system as the Junior Streetmaster.
So we have very different body sizes here. And what about the construction? Are these the same woods and everything, or different woods on these?
Well, the 13s are the same woods as each other, which keeps it fair. The Streetmaster is all mahogany, and the DX Woodstock is all high-pressure laminate. So we're not really doing a fair comparison as far as structurally comparing the D to the D Junior Streetmaster. But incidentally, when we get to the Rhodes Series comparison, those two guitars are identical in the way they're built.
Okay, but I think we can agree they're very different guitars we've got here. They're all very different. And in fact, I think what I'd like to do to start with maybe is to hear, maybe we could hear some of them unplugged, just to show that. Like if we could hear that the small, I really want to hear that new one, the Dread Junior. Perhaps we can hear that, and then the Dreadnought, like this one, the Woodstock one, just to hear in the mic what they sound like to you in the room. That would be a good place to start with, I think.
Sure.
I shall hand it over to you. Here he comes. Oh, that's from last week.
The Streetmaster.
All right, perfect person. Okay. And then we'll hear the same thing on the Woodstock guitar, which is a dreadnought size. Okay, so my question to the chat is in your opinion, watching this at home, and please wear headphones if you can. If you're watching on YouTube, you can select 1080p, which is the best quality video and audio. Is there a clear difference between those two guitars? Please let me know in the chat, because this, I don't want to give too much of my opinion. I will, but I want to hear your opinion watching the video as well. And then while you're doing that, I should go and read out some comments, and then I'll ask Maury his opinion, and I'll ask you in the chat. We'll see if we all agree up to this point. Okay, so where did I leave off here? Philippines, Lee's waving. You're both on our TV. Okay, Don is here from New Jersey. Hi, Don. Great to see you, my friend. Oh, Patsy Smith says Aaron said he had a red capo that would match the guitar. Yes, my first capo, in fact, was the Kaiser one, the grippy one. It was a red capo, and I still have it. One of the few things I still have from my childhood.
Wow.
Lee, I'm not reading out your comment because your wife is here. I'm going to skip over that. And then Michael. Hey, Aaron and Maury. Brewster, New York. Beautiful spring day, finally. Very cool. It is nice weather. That's why I'm surprised the planes are flying, because the weather's so nice today. Usually they fly lower when it's raining or foggy.
Same with our airport.
Yeah. FDNY. Good. Hey, my friend. Says, afternoon, fellas. Good to see you. And I said that was the microphone. So what you just heard was the mic. Just to be clear, that was the microphone, not the pickup. Okay, just so we're clear. Vic says, does the Woodstock guitar have an HPL top as well?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It says, Maury's end is noticeably quieter than me. Maury, can you just talk for me again? I'll just check the levels.
1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. This is only a test.
Well, according
a test, wouldn't be a test.
According to my meters, we're the same, but I'll just bring myself down by 10. Let me know if that's better in the chat. Okay. Mike says, sounds like the sound is eaten by the Woodstock. Less resonance, very clear differences. Okay. FDNY says, I don't think there's a big difference. Oh. 30 says the Dreadnought Junior is more resonant. So, I was kind of thinking everyone would have the same thing to start with, but maybe we're all going to have different, hear things differently for this whole video. That's fine. Lee says, just trying to make you smile. Yeah, I know, Lee. I know. Okay, Maury, what did you think? Is there a clear difference in the room between those two?
In the room, there is a very big difference in what I would describe as this guitar. The Woodstock is very bassy. It's lacking some real resonance in the mid-range and the trebles. It sounds loud, yet a little bit flat. And the Junior, in comparison, sounds brighter, more projective, but in the mid-range and up. So it's missing a lot of the bottom floor, like that real deep stuff. But the fact that it's all wood and maybe other parts of its construction are lending to my opinion to that guitar is more projective, but it has no bass. And this guitar has all bass, but it's lacking the overtones you would get with real wood.
I tell you what, let's just do our test. Let's put the screen up and let's see if our viewers can tell which is which. But the thing is, you really have to wear headphones. What I've found on like an iPhone speaker, which is actually not bad for a phone, but you won't hear that low end because you're not going to hear those frequencies the same way. You really want to wear good headphones if you can, and make sure you're watching in 1080p to do this. But I think this might be a good way to do it. Now we've heard them, let's do those two again with the screen up. Let's see if we can guess which one is which. Then let's see if we can guess which is which from the pickup alone. So microphone first, okay? So let me bring
microphone first?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me do this. There he is.
And
right.
Can I ask you a quick question, Aaron?
Yes.
I was looking around on the internet. I don't know which search term to use. Maybe our friends in the chat can help us. I want to find what we're doing right now, but instead of a big black screen, I want it to be that thing you see at the carnival where you stand behind this big picture of a bodybuilder or a surfer.
Oh, yeah.
Or, what is that kind of thing called?
As you're the king of graphics, I'm surprised we don't have it.
I'm surprised too, but I don't know what to put in the search terms. Like, how do you search for that? What is that called?
Bodybuilder, seaside, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Or you could put blatant advertising. I can sell this advertising space on here. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's hear the two guitars through the mic again. I want you to guess in the chat which is which. Okay, and I'll do the same.
Here we go.
Okay.
Guitar number 1.
Okay.
Number 2.
Nice playing.
Thank you.
Roeth says, "Isn't that a cutout?" I believe it is. We shall find some. That'll be funny. Or we can just have like a graphic of him wearing the Sandhole Sniffer shirt. We'll mix them up. I like that idea. Right. So put your answers in the chat, and I'm going to say right away, I sound like a broken record, but I love this show and getting to do this like this once a week, because even though I've spent years comparing different guitars, the first guitar, I'll say it again, I didn't know what it was because I had no reference. I wasn't sure. The minute I heard the second guitar, I knew exactly which was which. 100% sure. I would bet my whole guitar collection on it, Maury. Uh-oh. So let's see if you can guess in the chat which was which from the microphone. Remember, the microphone is hearing the guitar. There's two mics. You're hearing the guitar from the outside. It's picking up everything. But also, it's good. Also, that's not always a great thing on stage, because it's picking up everything. On the stage, it might feed back. It might pick up your shirt rubbing against the guitar. It might pick up some extra pick noise. All this stuff is compromised. But what you're hearing there is the guitars in their purest form without going to Maury's store. Okay. Now let's see what we say. Chris Hull, Woodstock, then the Junior. Okay, Lee says 2 is the Woodstock. And, Jim says 1 is Wood, 2 is HPL. HPL is the Woodstock, so you agree with that. Roa says 2 is the Woodstock. 30 says 2 is the Woodstock. And Don says, And I'm not being funny. I could just tell 100. And remember last week I was wrong and I didn't know, but this week I'm 1,000% sure that number 2 was the Woodstock guitar. Am I right, Maury?
You'll have to take away my cutout.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot I'm in control. Oh, hang on. I got a new feature for the show. Yes, my guitars are safe. My heart was racing there. That drum roll makes me a bit anxious.
That's a little bit like disturbing, right?
So I'm not being funny, but there are times I'm sure about things. I was so sure I could just hear the size of the Dreadnought through that mic, and I just find it so fascinating because the first guitar I wasn't sure either way. I needed that reference. I always need a reference. It's crazy, isn't it? That makes
sense.
But I find it so useful. And if you're guitar browsing, whatever, I want to tell people this: always have a reference. If you've got like a guitar sound you like from an album or your own guitar, use it as a reference when you do this. So let's go and see what the chat says. So Don said, yeah, that's right, Don. Yeah. And Rosanna said 2 is the Woodstock. Yep. And Charles said 2 is the Woodstock. So I think we can agree that it's very clear through the mic which is which, right? Jim's got a good point though. What strings are on the Woodstock? Are they 13s or 12s?
All 4 of these guitars are wearing 12s. The only difference is these are Foster Bronze 12s. Same with both of the Road series, but the Junior is wearing retro nickel strings. So those are the only strings that aren't phosphor bronze, but all 4 are 12s.
First of all, thank you for putting the same strings on, because that does make a big difference in my opinion. Second of all, complete side note, last week I happened to try a single set of retros on the OMJM. I really like them.
Ah.
They're really great strings. From what I've read on forums, I thought they were going to be kind of dull and weird, because they look different. When you take them out the package, they look different, don't they? They're like, they've got that silver look. And I just thought, I'm not going to like them. I just want to try them just so I can tick it off the list. And they just blew my mind. They feel great. They sound great. They're not dull sounding. They sound kind of syrupy, but they just sound great. I just think they're a great string. Hang on. Stop flying the planes. I'm doing the live stream.
I'm surprised they don't stop for you.
I might jump on one and fly over there. There's a quick side note. I really like the retro strings. Check them out. Anyway, we got the same strings, and thank you for doing that, because I believe strings make a huge difference myself. If I play old 13s on one guitar and I play new 12s on another, they just have such a difference. So that's great. That's really interesting. And
could I interrupt you, Aaron?
yes,
You said you like those strings.
I do.
Has everybody watching this video liked this video, or are you just watching and you're just coasting without doing the work? Hit the like button.
Let me check. We have 28 watching, and we have 3 likes. Oh, very disappointing. Anyway, that's fine. I just liked it myself. I just like my own video. That's fine. Patsy Smith says it's called a photo prop, face in a hole photo prop. Okay, we'll get some.
Thank you.
Now, so far so good. So far so good. Now, next question. What is a under saddle pickup? Because some people might not know. This is what it looks like. So this is the Fishman Sonotone. And basically, this piece of gold wire sits under your saddle. So you look on the one on the left is not the Sonotone, it's something else. But that's basically what it does. It sits under the saddle and lives inside the slot. Now, my whole point with this is that cannot possibly, in my opinion, pick up the true sound of it like a mic does. Because it's not hearing the whole guitar, is it? It's sitting in that slot, and it's hearing a lot of information from the string vibrating on the saddle, which is then going through the pickup and coming out of your speakers. So you get a very direct tone. You don't get all that ambience that the microphone has. And if you're interested in this in detail, go and watch the video I did with James May from Audio Sprockets, because he explains it all very well. And I do want to just say, though, on the flip side of that, this can be a good thing, because maybe you want a very focused tone. Maybe you don't want a load of kind of ambient sound. And that's what these undersaddle pickups are good for. And it also means they tend not to feed back, because they're only picking up that part of the guitar. Here's my argument. Because they're only picking up that part of the guitar, do they all sound the same? I mean, I'm sure there'll be some variation, because even that part of the guitar will be different on different guitars. But we're taking away, say, a lot of the body sound and all that stuff. So maybe the sound will be very similar. It's going to be really, really interesting now to see if we can still guess them apart, even though we're hearing the pickup and not the guitar. But before we do that, let's do viewers' comments.
What a tease.
Today's viewers' comment comes from our very, very good friends. It's Rosanna. Happy birthday, Rosanna. And Lee. And we have a very special video from Lee. Here we go. A fellow cat lover over there. I don't let my cat go in the case, though. I get way too many hairs in there. But yeah, that's a nice Martin case, too.
That's cute. That's a nice cat.
Is that a D42 or a D45 or a D41? What is that? That's not a D45.
I might say 42 if that's a snowflake on the bridge, but I'm not sure.
Roeth says, is there no... Yeah, okay. He just got it. He just got it. Roeth, I thought the same thing. When I saw that video, the first thing I thought was, where's the... So we look forward to the follow-up. If you have pictures or a video, please send them to sayhi@aaronshortmusic.com. I pretty appreciate last week. I did get a few come through, so that keeps us good for the next few weeks, but I always need more. So start now and just send me anything you want. I really would appreciate it because we want to see you on here as well. Okay, so. Hi, Roslyn. She gave us a thumbs up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Olds. Great to see you. Oh, we got 10 likes now. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry that Maury had to bully you into doing it. All right. I'm much more easygoing than that.
Good cop, bad cop.
Our silent string's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You should totally make an April Fool's Day video, Maury. Introducing the new Maury's Music Invisible Strings. Is it Stivey or Stivey? Sorry, I don't know how to say your screen name. Tommy Emmanuel says he uses mostly mic on his guitar preamp. Yeah, we'll cover that in the future. It's a great point. So Tommy has an undercello pickup and a mic in the guitar. It's still not going to sound like the mic on the outside of the guitar because it's on the inside, but that is one step closer, you can argue, because it's picking up more of the guitar. But let's get back to our test. My question is, can we hear the difference? Will it be such an over... I mean, we had like 9 out of 10 there. Say the Woodstock was the second guitar, right? If Maury mixes them again and only plays the pickup with no microphone, is it going to be the same result? I love this. This is a great test. Let's do the test, and then we'll come back and discuss what we've learned. So here's Maury. Oh, and here is... Oh, I can see the likes here. 31 viewers and 12 likes. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You know, I'd rather you post this on your Facebook page and say, come and join us, honestly. All right, here we go. So... That's much better. Oh, one more thing.
That's perfect.
Okay, Maury Rich here. Okay, let's do the same test. He's going to mix them up. They're not the same. Please play the same thing again, and let's see if we can guess which is which. This will be really, really interesting. There's his cable. Very nice cable. Gold plated. Sounds better. Do not put it in your ear, please. Thank you. I couldn't hear anything coming through when you plugged it in your ear anyway, Maury, so I'm not sure what that means. All right, here we go. Pay attention, everyone. Stivey. Sorry, my friend. Stivey. I have no idea. That was that the pickup removes so much information. Yeah. Wow.
You look troubled.
No, this was my prediction, wasn't it? My prediction was that with less information, the microphone picks up so much information, this was going to be very close. I can't imagine they'll be identical because the body size, even under that saddle on the pickup, must influence the sound a little bit. But this is the kind of test where I need to hear them back to back with no gap to really have a guess. But it's all I really care about is that it proves that it's such a big difference. Like the first two I knew straight away. I wasn't like messing around. The first two I was like, yep, I know 100%. Right? This one I don't know.
Well, do you hear any difference in this test?
You know what? I'm sorry to everyone in the chat, but I have to ask you again. Can you take that? Keep the order the same, of course. Can you just strum like an open E for me for like a few seconds, and then grab the other one and do the same thing?
Sure, the same order. Yep.
Yeah, same order. Yeah. Cheers, Chris. What does that mean?
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Just a couple of quick chords with guitar number 1 is guitar number 1 again.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Maybe the first one had a touch more bass. Maybe the first one is the Woodstock. Let's see what our friend said. Wow.
And I'm really, really personally interested to know if you guys think it's too close to call or if there is absolutely no difference. That's important to me.
It's way too close to call. I think the first one may be the Woodstock. It may have slightly more bass. I'm talking about real slight. In my opinion, there's not enough difference to really care. And I could easily EQ that to be exactly the same, is my feeling. And I don't like when people say that, because the whole thing about EQing stuff, because actually I've tried that sometimes and it isn't possible. But to me, that's just got a little bit more low end than the first one. And I might be wrong, which would be hilarious, of course. Let's see what our friends say. So Lee says 1 is the Woodstock, agrees with me there. Pretty much identical. Let me just check. Stivey, right? Oh, where did I put that message? Oh, don't worry. Oh yeah, Stivey, sorry. Stivey. Okay. Yes, thank you for the popping sounds, Maury. You must get yourself some of those anti-pop jacks.
Sorry.
Yep, says the first one. Second is Dread Jr. Well, Rosanna says 1 is Woodstock. Second one sounded thinner. That would mean the first is the Woodstock, I suppose. First is Woodstock. Wow, so we're all... Oh, the quack. Yeah, sorry. I didn't get the joke. People say undercello pickups quack. That kind of plasticky sound you get on the high end, which you wouldn't get from a microphone. People refer to it as quack. But Larry Fishman told me he doesn't like that word, quack. But I can never think of a word that explains it. Actually, it's not a very good way to explain it, is it? It doesn't sound like a duck when you play it. We have to think of a better word for that. Very close. 1 Woodstock, I agree. Fishman sonotone seems to sound very close to a Dread with that pickup. See? Okay, with Mike it's night and day. Yeah. So Stephen agrees. Too close to call. Too close to call. Could be in my imagination. Second was less full. Prefer the first. Heard the same thing. So I think we're all saying, and I hope I didn't influence anyone by saying my opinion first, but I think we're all saying that the first one has a touch more bass. And I really would presume that the Woodstock would have more bass because it's a bigger guitar, even though it's only picking up the sound from that area of the guitar. Even that area of the guitar should have more bass, right? Because it's a different guitar. So I would say that the first one does have more bass and is therefore the Woodstock. So let's see if I'm right. Yes. Okay. Really, really interesting. But here's the thing though. Let's just go back to our main screen. Here's the thing though. I want to discuss this today. That's the only thing, isn't it? That slight more boom and low end is the only thing that would tell me that. Nothing else would tell me the difference. Whereas with the microphone, there's just so many more clear differences. And the low end boom is exaggerated even more. The openness is exaggerated even more. Which totally makes sense. Some people might laugh at what I'm saying here because obviously the microphone is on the guitar, the body is bigger, right? It makes sense that the whole thing would be bigger. And like I keep saying, the undersaddle pickup is just on that part of the guitar, so everything's smaller. So it does make sense. How does it feel in the room then when you're playing it? Would you agree with what we're saying so far?
Well, in the room, yeah, the Woodstock's got a lot more bass, and it's worth noting that our viewers that are watching this program, I'm not hearing what the pickup sounds like in the broadcast. It's going right into a mixer, right to the internet, so I don't get to really get a sensation of what these pickups sound like as I'm playing them in my chair. There's no difference from my acoustic test and the test I just did, so I don't benefit at all until I watch the replay of this video later. I'm not hearing what you guys are hearing, but in the room, this is acoustically full of bass, and it's lacking anything but. And the Junior Streetmaster has a nice, bright, punchy sound that's lacking bass and has a lot of mid-range and treble. So in the room, this thing is all bass, and it's again, I'm not even hearing any kind of the pickup. If I could hear the pickup while I played it, I'd have a hard time deciding which guitar I was playing, because I did that comparison video as a teaser on YouTube about 2:30 p.m. to promote the show, and I had to really watch back to make sure. I mean, I know what I recorded, and I watched myself edit the video, and it was a little bit uncanny where I'm watching the video part of the screen change guitars. I'm watching footage of me putting the big guitar down, picking up the small guitar, but the video is showing no audio evidence of the guitar changing, so it's kind of funny.
But like I said, totally makes sense. And my question, well, I've got a question at the end of this video for everyone to discuss. But here's what we'll do. Let's do the other two guitars, because we've got 4 guitars today. Then what I'm going to do after we come back from the giveaway or something like that, when we come back, I want to compare the Dread and the Dread, because they're going to be even closer in size. Let's see if we can distinguish which is which Dread. I'm going to guess we can't. And that we'll finish with that. And then I've got a question for us to discuss at the end. But let's switch over to the other 2 guitars. So we've got another Dread size here. And then the other one was... I've already forgot which guitar we're on. Was it the OM Triple O?
There's a Triple O 12E is the other one.
Triple O 12E, and this is the Dreadnought body. So again, my prediction is this will be really easy. My prediction is we'll easily tell which is which with the mic, and we'll slightly tell which is which through the pickup. By the way, anyone that's watching that's great at grammar, is that correct? Do USTs sound the same in different guitars? There's no apostrophe there, right? Maury kindly told me there isn't, but I don't know. It doesn't look right to me. Let me see. Is that right? Okay, let's do this one. So, right, we're going to do exactly the same thing again. So here we go. Let me hide you up. Microphone first of all. Which is which? Remember, one is a Dread size body, one is a Triple O size body. One is a large body, one is a small body. So therefore, I guess the question is which one sounds bigger than the other one. Tom Guy says, hi, did I miss anything? Nothing at all, Tom Guy. Just been sitting here for 40 minutes having coffee. No, you missed the first comparison, but you're here just in time for the second comparison. So once again, we're comparing the guitars, first of all, through microphones. Which one do you think is which? Which one is the Dread, the bigger body? Which one do you think is the Triple O, the smaller body? Then we'll do the same through the undersaddle pickup and see if we can decide which is which. And he says, no apostrophe, it's not... Thank you. Okay, Maury was right. Here we go. Microphone first. That was harder. That was harder to hear. And I keep thinking it's also, I can tell, I can hear you're playing a D shape, right? Because I've heard you play these songs so many times over the last 12 months. I can hear the D shape. I think an E would be easier because you get that low E, and I think that gives away more. I think the second one had more fullness to it, but it wasn't as obvious as the first two. Hang on, is this Dreadnought size guitar a full-size Dreadnought or a shallow body?
Full size.
Oh, it is. Okay. So, okay, let's see what our friends say. I fear I may be wrong. Hi, Jack. How you doing, my friend? This first one is the Dread. First one is the Dread. Second one is the Dread. Dread was first. Second one was the Dread. Second one was the Dread. We're a bit split on this one. First was slightly fuller, so first was the Dread. Both, I agree, Eddie. Why could I not hear such a difference on these ones? Interesting, isn't it? Triple O, then Dread. So we're saying Dread was second. Am I in the church? Yeah, I'm in the Church of Martin Guitar.
Yes.
I'm just messing around, my friend. First sounded boomier. I'm really worried that I made a mistake here. That's fine. Second was Dread. I agree. But interesting, isn't it? How split we are. I love these comparisons, Maury, because it's so interesting to see how people hear different things. I'll stick with my gut feeling, which was that the second one was the Dread. So let's see if I'm wrong. Yes, that's the Dread, right? No? I can't even tell by sight anymore. I'm terrible. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, hang on. I've just got to pause here. Why did I find that so difficult? Why did I not hear it? Remember the first two? I was like, I bet my whole guitar collection on the first one, right? And
well,
this
because
one,
you're comparing it. In the first one, you're comparing a 24 scale, small Dreadnought Junior Streetmaster to a full scale Dreadnought X series.
Okay.
You know, the smallest Martin and the biggest Martin.
Okay.
In these two, the Dreadnought to the OM size isn't as much of a jump.
Okay.
And don't forget, the earlier comparison was a Streetmaster all mahogany versus an HPL Dread. These two guitars in the Road series are built exactly identical except for their size.
Okay. All right, but I just need to. I have no hope of the pickup comparison. Then, just before we move on, just do me a favor. Just strum me an open E, please, a few times on that guitar and then the other guitar. I just want to see if when I see them, if I can think I hear a difference or not.
Sure.
I don't know how it sounds to you in the room, because remember, I'm listening over the internet and through YouTube, but they just sound really close to me. Do they sound like close in the room, or do you hear a difference?
They sound close. They don't sound identical, and I can easily tell them apart under ear, but it's not strikingly different, you know.
Yeah, I'm struggling with these two to really hear a major difference, but that'll be interesting in our pickup comparison to see if I don't hear any difference at all. All right, so let's do the plugged in now, and let's see if Jack B1, I got a challenge for you. Let's see if you can identify the two guitars, because you got that right. Can you identify the two guitars from the pickup alone? Let's see. All right, I'm going to hide you up again.
Okay.
It'd be funny if I can clearly hear the difference in the pickup, but I couldn't hear it in the microphone. That would be really interesting.
Well, and to be fair, this time when I do the pickup comparison, I'll make sure I'm playing a deep E.
Please, yeah. I think hearing the low E string gives you the full spectrum of the tone rather than the D, because the D is a higher pitch. I think, at least that would make sense on paper. I just have no idea. It's funny with these two guitars. I have no idea. That's why it'd be interesting when we do the Dread versus Dread at the end to hear if I can hear that difference. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Ernie, my friend, how you doing? Excellent bass player and good friend of mine from Nashville to Chicago and Nashville, Tennessee. Good to see you here, my friend. A few questions here. Yeah, please put your answers in the chat. I thought the second one sounded a little bit brighter, but then again, a Dread can sometimes sound brighter. I would assume that would mean it was the triple O, but sometimes a Dread can sound brighter. So again, I don't know. I'll say I'm just guessing. The second one I'll say is the triple O because it sounded brighter. I don't know. But like I said, sometimes the Dreads sound, I don't know. That's not even a good argument. Jack says the pickup comparison should be tougher. That's right, Jack. And because we had that discussion before, because it's picking up less of the external sound like a mic does. Rusty, how you doing? Triple O has more mid focus. To say it the opposite way, the Dread is more mid scooped. Yes, I do agree with that. Chris Hull says Dread is full scale. And Triple O is short scale. And he says nice sound. Triple O is short scale. Yep. Makes you wonder how much of the big D sound is due to the 13s. Well, that's a very good point. I think we've discussed that before. I do think those Dreads, like I said, if you're comparing a Dread with 13s to an OM with 12s, straight away you got the difference in strings there. So do bear that in mind when you watch videos online as well. Dread is second. First one sounds better, says Ernie. But what is better? That's the question. That's the $1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Lee says the second is the Dread. FDMY says close. Jack says can't tell. 2 is the Dread. They sound the same. 2 is Dread, second is Dread, but close. So I think we're all agreeing that the pickup really removes a lot of this. And remember, when I say pickup, I mean the undersaddled transducer. There's many different pickups that we'll talk about in the future, but we're just focusing on arguably the most popular pickup in most standard guitars, which is an undersaddled pickup. Have the same pickup, yep. Shows that guitar shape and size doesn't impact undersaddled pickup sound, but in fact it did a little bit in our first comparison, Jack. It did a little bit. But I've got a question for you all at the end. At the end, I've got a question for Maury and everyone in the chat to discuss, so I'll save that question for the end. Don says, yeah, that's a good answer, Don. That was my face at the end, huh? Rosin says the Dread was first. Yeah, good to see you, Ernie. How you doing? Ernie, you've got a nice guitar collection. Please send us a picture. We'll put it on the show of your. I think you've got some acoustics, right? I want to see that. Second was the Dread. Second was the Dread. My hearing is shot from working in boiler rooms for 40 years. They both sound the same and great. Yeah. First is best. Electric Light Orchestra did the perfect song. It's called Confusion. How much? Ernie, you're in America, right? If you're looking for a Martin, give Maury's music a call. He's always good to deal with. Anyway, let's get back to the thing here. So, what did we... we have a 50-50 chance. Yeah, I still got it wrong before. Let's see. Let's reveal it. Let's see which is which. I said the second was brighter. My problem with that is that sometimes I find the scoopiness of a Dread can make the highs more prevalent. But you'd assume that the smaller body guitar might sound brighter. So that's why I just don't know. I would love to just say I don't know, but I don't want to sit on the fence. I don't like it when people sit on the fence. The second one I thought was brighter. I thought it was brighter. I'll say it was the smaller body guitar because it was brighter. Okay, let's see. But I really have no idea. Was I right?
You're right.
I was right. Okay. So far, I think from these two comparisons, there's a slight difference in the pickup sound, and yet with these two to the mic, I couldn't really hear the difference. So that's a bit of a spanner in the works, so to speak. Okay, interesting. Let's see what our friends said here. I might have missed some comments further up, and just make sure that I did not. And while I'm doing that, please do take a second to make sure you're subscribed. Like this. Don't forget to ring the bell to be notified when I go live or post a new video. I thought you were going to play ding, 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 ding. Might be copyrighted though. You know, the weird thing is I've not had a copyright claim the last few weeks from YouTube because YouTube scans the song you're playing and sends you an automatic copyright claim. I used to get a lot of them, but recently I've only had them for the original song that I play at the end of my live stream. So So I'm a bit worried, Maury. Am I getting worse? Like the algorithm can't figure out what song I'm playing.
You play those songs so poorly that a robot doesn't even think you're trying to play them. That's pretty cool.
Do you get them when you do your stream with Clayton on Thursdays and you upload it to YouTube? Do you get every song claimed or not?
Oh yeah. Most of the time. Well, at least a dozen out of an hour-long program. But it's funny. I got in big trouble 3 weeks ago on Facebook because we put a little clip of Napoleon Dynamite watching us on TV, The Simpsons watching us on TV, and that was okay. But I got in trouble for using some AC/DC stock footage of their crowd. I thought it would be a funny gag to have like us playing acoustic guitar and AC/DC's crowd there. Nothing AC/DC on the screen, but just their audience. And it's part of the footage. And I thought that was the most innocent of the the things you're going to pull into a video to make it interesting. But no, we get copyright claims pretty often.
I gotta say, I enjoyed your stream last week with all that stuff, but I was sitting there wondering, like, is he going to get in trouble for all this, like, Simpsons, Family Guy, all these things?
Well, I've kind of curbed it. I've thrown some of that stuff to the side now because I'm afraid I might,
The problem is, like, with a crowd, you've got to be careful because you're showing, like, people on there as well. There might be...
Yeah.
But yeah, I've not had... I mean, I should totally knock on wood now because now I've said that, I'm going to get, like, a load of... I'll probably get my channel deleted from saying that. Okay. Pooh Ninja says, throw some thumbs up, folks. Thank you, Pooh. Pooh Ninja is in every live stream out there, so I'm honored that they're here as well. Roeth doesn't want to play anymore.
Aww.
I thought the second sounded more musical, but didn't know how to translate my perception to which guitar it was. Warner Brothers don't play. Warner Brothers don't play. All right, so we're going to pull the giveaway forward this week because this week is a very, very difficult giveaway. And please, put your best glasses on, wipe the screen, get ready because this is a very difficult one. We'll do that. We'll come back. We'll do the two dreads because that will be really interesting rather than two completely different guitars. And then we'll have a little chat at the end about these pickups and see what our conclusions are. So we're bringing it forward, but this week we're doing the giveaway now. Maury is very kindly giving away 3 sets of authentic acoustic strings, either 12s or 13s, whichever one you prefer. Here are our rules. I'll put the link in the description. You click on the Images tab. Then you'll find the difference in the first 2 pictures that you see. Come back here and type your answer. It's got to be detailed. It has to line up with what he told me the answer is. And my decision is final. The small print is there. That's just something you have to do for YouTube. Explaining how it all works in detail. If you need it, it's right there. So get ready because I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to paste it into the chat. There is a delay here with my audio when I drop things in the chat, but you're all going to see it appear in the chat at the same time. So in that respect, it's completely fair. So bear with me. I still haven't grabbed it yet. Yes, thank you for the music. That helps fill the time up. Okay, now are you ready, everyone? This could be the hardest one yet. Remember, to win the strings, you have to be in the USA to receive them. But you can enter along at home and see if you get it first for fun. Okay, here we go. Now get ready. I hope you're ready for this. It's not easy. And, okay. I'll hand you over to Maury to play for us while we wait for the winner. You have 2 minutes. Wow, Well, it took you a long time, my friends. What's going on? Oh, that was fun. Thank you, Maury. It was so funny. And Jack was laughing. I like it. It was worth it for the laughs alone. Marco was laughing. Oh, FDNY got up. Yes, you did. You were first. Curved neck. Yes, you're right.
Slightly.
Yeah. FDNY, congratulations. Send your details to Maury at maurysmusic.com. Congratulations. Roa says they look the same. Yep, Rosin saw it. And Vic G, this is a hard one. Look the same, but I've been drinking. I like that. I thought it was fun. I tried to fool you with what I said, but I thought that was good.
That was scary.
Oh, I like the disclaimer. I didn't see that. Hang on, let me just go to this.
Can you show it on your screen, Aaron?
Yeah, let me share the screen. Hang on. You know, I want this show. We do some pretty intellectual stuff here with these comparisons lately, so it's good to have some light-hearted entertainment as well. Today we had the picture of the stringless guitar, and now we've had the picture of the warped guitar. Okay, FDNY says pass it on. Okay, thank you. Well, Roslyn.
Wow.
Roslyn was next, and actually I did see her name first, but I saw you were above, so thank you. We'll pass it on then at your request. So Roslyn, you are the winner. And FDNY says I received one before. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So Roslyn, please send your details to Maury at maurysmusic.com. And thank you to FDNY. And thank you to Maury's Music, because Maury's Music is giving these strings away, and not me. So we appreciate it. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And you can repay sounds awful. You can thank him by subscribing to Maury's Music on YouTube. All right.
You can repay me.
Oh dear.
Now we're getting too funny.
I thought he was a nice guy. All right, let's go to the website here. Hang on. I just got to bring it up on my screen. Make sure I got the screen here.
Thanks for playing, guys.
Desktop. Right, so now before we move on, what is this guitar? It looks very nice. This is a D28, right?
D28
yes.
Sunburst.
Very nice. This is in stock right now.
Ooh. Like got run over.
I just can't believe it took so long for people to type the answer. Mind you, there's a delay, of course. Whoa. Yeah, I didn't see that. This image was edited as a joke. There is nothing wrong with our D28 burst. He only put that because the other week I said to him, like, what did you do the other week? You put something really messed up on the guitar. And they said, what if a potential customer saw it and thought there was a problem with it, right?
Yep.
So I made him
D45 missing a fret, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
How many? Is this one or two guitars I'm looking at here?
Just one.
Okay. I'm just having a quick. I'm just seeing if it passes my test.
Don't go shopping now. We're doing a program.
Any wings on the wing? Oh, how can I not? This is what I do all night long. Just sit on websites looking at pictures of guitars. Nice grain. Oh, nice grain on the back there. Nice sunburst. If you like a sunburst. I know some do, some don't. If you're looking for a sunburst, that's a nice one. Nice neck.
Neck is wacky.
Nice neck. Oh, I'm not buying that. I'll go somewhere else. Quickly. Take the picture down. We're finished with that, Maury. Quickly.
That'll be up for weeks.
All right. So far, I think we can agree that the mic and the pickup sound different. The mic on one of the comparisons was much more obvious than the other one. And the pickups sound much closer, but we could still hear a slight difference. So let's do the two dreadnoughts then. Because so far we've done two very different body sizes. Let's do the two dreads. They're not identical guitars, but they are obviously more similar in size. Let's do those two and see if we can hear those apart. That'll be interesting. Okay, so let's go over to the screen on here. Let's cover him up. Better. All right, so Bimo said it has a built-in wah-wah. Is it a rich light neck? Oh, quick question for you, Maury. I've got some questions. Do you sell the Streetmaster without a pickup?
The D Junior Streetmaster, no, it's only available with the electronics.
That's interesting. And Rosin said, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, very generous. Thank you, my friend. What are the chances that Martin will make the 15M burst again? Mahogany.
My honest answer is I don't know.
Okay, so Dread versus Dread. First of all, the microphone. Please put your comments and your answers in the chat. Here we go. Okay, I need to hear more. Let's do some fingerstyle now. Same order, but fingerstyle.
Okay.
And what do you think in the chat? Let me know. But I need to hear more for sure. It's really hard. They're both dreadnoughts.
Did I even change guitars? I should ask you.
I mean, they're both dreadnoughts. Like, without being familiar with those guitars, like if you did D28 and HD28, I could probably do it because the construction is different and I'm very used to those guitars. But having not played the guitars you're even playing, it's really difficult. Lee said one is the Woodstock. I mean, to be fair, we didn't even hear them. You know what we should do? We should play them without the screen up, first of all. We don't even know what they sound like separately, really, do we? We've kind of forgotten. Let's take away the screen. Let's see if Lee was right. Lee said the first one was the Woodstock. And FDMY said the first one was the Woodstock. Let's see. Okay, so we're not. I think we need to do this a different way. First of all, let's just hear the guitars. So let's hear...
Because they got it right?
Oh, they got it right. Sorry. They did get it right. Wow. I'm getting really confused today. Yes, you were right. Now, so tell me then, how did you know? Was that just a complete guess, or did you actually know? I have no reference. I don't know what they sound like. I think what I'll do is this, because we've still got 25 minutes. I'll say let's play some things on the guitars to hear the guitars, get used to the guitars, and then let's do the test with the screen up and see if we can identify them. I just think it's way... Am I wrong? I just think it's way too difficult to do this without even knowing what they sound like in the first place. Yeah. Well, I need to do that anyway, so let's do that. I can't do it otherwise. All right. Okay. Okay, same thing on the other guitar. Okay, I needed that. It really helped because I can see the guitar. I can identify the tones I'm hearing with the image of the guitar. And I now have a much clearer idea of which one I think is which.
Okay.
FDNY said, I think the Woodstock is a bit more of a cheap sounding guitar. No offense. Less fuller would be a better way. Is the Woodstock guitar more affordable? That's what Apple say, by the way. When you go to the Apple store and you say, what's your cheapest iPad? They say, sir, the most affordable iPad is the iPad mini. So what's the price like in comparison to those two?
Well, no one ever calls me sir, but this is a much less expensive guitar. This is probably, I have to look at the website, maybe $600, and I would, without checking prices, it's probably half the cost of the Road Series.
Okay, so FDNY, that's fine then. What you said is actually true. Just remember, okay, Lee, you got a good memory. You remembered the sound of the Woodstock. I couldn't. I have to do it right before. Sounds less full and complex. Yeah, and I'm visual, so I just needed to look at it and hear it. Okay, and we'll just talk for a few seconds, and then we'll do the other test again. I think it'll be much. Otherwise, I'm just like, well, I don't know. I don't know what they sound like anyway, and I'm not even comparing the small versus the large tone because they're both the same body shape, right? They're both exactly the same dimensions. Neither of them are shallow body dreads, right? They're both full size dread. Just to check.
But incidentally, this is a really good backhanded compliment for the X series. If any of our viewers have a hard time discerning real wood versus high pressure laminate, that just really reminds you that Martin knows how to build a guitar with anything, frankly. So. Yeah,
and like you said, there's nothing wrong with the HPL. You know, some people will say, well, HPL isn't a Martin. It's not solid wood. But actually, don't forget the benefits. Like, don't forget that we were saying earlier, they stay in tune better. They're less susceptible to breaking. You could potentially leave it out on the wall, which I would never recommend with an expensive guitar. It physically costs less money, so you're a little bit less worried about it getting broken. It's got a pickup in it already, so it's definitely good value. I'll give it that. And I do like the look. Actually, if I was going to buy a guitar like this, I want it to be that kind of striking in the looks myself. That's just me. All right, so now we're going to go back and do the comparison again. I'll hide it up. Maury's going to mix them up. So this will be interesting, FDNY. This is the microphone again. You're saying that guitar sounds cheaper. Let's see if you can tell without seeing it then. BMO says HPL has a booming resonance. I agree. There's something in the mid-range I can hear in that HPL guitar, and that's how I'm going to try to identify them now. We'll see. I was sure.
These are all really good songs, by the way.
I've heard these before somewhere. Maury's actual plan is to do this for so many years that when he releases his album, we all have. We've heard those songs sound like so familiar. They touch me in such a special way because they're so familiar to me. It's like I've heard them before a million times. I couldn't help myself. In the future, I'm going to write this down on a board and then hold it up because I don't want to influence people's decision. But I was so sure that the second one there was the Woodstock because I had heard a frequency in the mid range on the previous comparison. So as soon as I heard that, I heard it. And I imagine this is how like Spoon does stuff too. Spoon has done so many videos for you. he must be very familiar with certain sounds and frequencies of certain guitars. And I think this is something that comes with time. So I found that so much easier after doing the test before. So Roth says the first is the Rhodes series, so he agrees. Jim says my X Martin sits out at the ready all winter and the house is 30%, 25% humidity from wood. No worries. That's great information, Jim. Thanks for sharing. Even an X series could have problems potentially, but it's definitely a much more of a safe gamble than your D45, that's for sure. So that's a great point. Thanks for letting us know, because I haven't done that test. One is the 13, says FDNY, so everyone's agreeing here. I hope the second one was the HPL, says Chris. 2 was the Woodstock, says Lee. 2 was the Woodstock. HPL's 2. See, now I like today's test. It's not just about pickups. It's also about the guitars and the construction as well.
Yeah.
Vic G says, neck weight. Those Strelabon necks make a neck-heavy guitar. Is Jim talking about the HPL guitar, the Woodstock?
Yeah. Yep.
And does it feel like the neck is heavy? I know I haven't played one. And we've just given away the answer. Hang on, let me do this first. So this second guitar should be the Woodstock. Yes, that was so. I found that one so easy.
I can't believe I fell for that. I'm such an amateur.
No, I'm not. I'm not thinking straight today. I was, I'm all over the place today. But yes, okay, that was very clear to me. Now, I said I heard certain frequencies in that guitar through the mic. Am I going to hear them through the pickup? That's the question. So now we'll do the same thing with the pickup. We're gonna hide up and mix them up. Let's do the pickup test. Let us know which one is which, and then we'll do a little conclusion at the end and a little chat at the end. Okay. I think that was pretty unanimous there. Maury, I need a wah, 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 wah. You just showed us the guitar. Let's do it again.
All right, do it again. All right.
Keep it lower. Keep it lower.
Sorry.
Okay, he's going to mix them up again, everyone. Bear with us.
That's hard.
Okay. I'm trying really hard not to look at the left side of my screen because I've got to cover up the preview window. That's why I'm looking over here.
I see.
I couldn't hear that mid thing that I heard in the microphone, which makes sense. It's not a microphone. But I think the second one sounded brighter. I'm just going to guess the second one was the Woodstock. Oh, BMO said you revealed it again. Oh, man. I need to get a new demo guy here.
You didn't see it the second time.
I don't know.
That's delayed.
Maybe. What's your guess in the chat? Let us know quickly. I think the second one was the Woodstock, but I found that, yeah, Chris Hull agrees. I found it much closer than the microphone, which again makes a lot of sense. Oh, but FDNY says the first was the Woodstock. Okay, put your answers. I'll give us a few seconds and I'll reveal, and then we'll do a little summary here at the end. I got a question for you all before we go.
Would our viewers be upset with me if you found out this very last test I never did switch to guitar?
No, because we said they sound so close anyway. So that would be the wrong test to do that on. Second Woodstock, not a Scooby. I've been away from England too long to remember what that means. First, second is Woodstock. Okay. And I said the second was Woodstock. I think we're agreed the second was the Woodstock. Let me know why you thought that, and let's see if we're right. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Woo. Okay. Well, really, really interesting stuff. So, I think we can agree on the first guitar. Well, first of all, we can agree the mic sounds different to the pickup. And I want everyone to remember this. And this is just something that I learned over time, which totally makes sense now. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. The microphone, when you're shopping for a pickup, it'll never sound like a microphone. Because a microphone is a microphone, the pickup is a pickup. Some pickups will sound more like a mic or have different qualities, but nothing will sound like a mic on the outside of the guitar, especially like two microphones. Last week I interviewed Shane Hennessy. He had 3 microphones and his pickup had a microphone in it as well. And he had he's an amazing player, but he had an incredible sound as well. Remember, the only reason I'm saying this is that in the past I've done videos of pickup reviews and people have put in the comments, the mic sounded better. It didn't sound like the mic. It's never, ever, 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 ever going to sound like a microphone because I'm not being funny. It's not a microphone, right? It's a pickup. It's not a microphone. It's never going to sound the same. You have to accept that. The microphone recording is just to show you what that guitar sounds like through a microphone. And the pickup, they're completely separate things, especially an undersaddle pickup. Remember, this is what it looks like. So we'll cover this in the future. Some pickups pick up the top of the guitar so you get a bit more information. Hang on. Some pickups have a microphone in there. Some pickups, they're all very different. This is kind of the most straightforward one, the most common one, which is why I wanted to cover it today. So that was the first thing to get out of the way, the fact that they're not going to sound like the microphone. But I think we can conclude, though, from the first guitar, being different body sizes, the mic was very obvious. The pickup was not, but we could still tell them apart. The really interesting and weird thing for me with the next 2 guitars is I couldn't really tell a difference either way, but everyone in the chat could tell a difference, and it's the same conclusion. I don't know why that was. I don't know. Maybe it's just those guitars. And then the third guitar, I think, was the same as the first 2. I could once I'd seen them, and maybe we didn't do that with the middle ones, which is why I couldn't do it. Once I'd seen them and made some observations, then I could do it. But to me, the pickup is so close. So here's my question to finish, and I'll put this to Maury, and I'll put it to the chat. If you're going to use an undersaddle pickup, and a lot of people really like undersaddle pickups. In fact, someone here said they're a big fan of this pickup. And don't forget, Fishman make the Matrix, and LR Bags make the Element. And a lot of people like the simplicity of these pickups and the fact they don't feedback too much and all this kind of stuff. Here's a question. So forget about other pickups for now. If I said to you, you can have an undersaddle pickup like this. Here's my question. Is it worth gigging a D45 or similar with an undersaddle pickup rather than gigging a HPL Woodstock guitar with an undersaddle pickup? Is it worth it, and why? So just think about that for a few seconds and let us know in the chat. And I'll put that question to Maury. So Maury, is it worth me getting a D45 with that undersaddle pickup and gigging it when we've decided the sound is so close to, let's say, the Woodstock guitar? Is it worth it? Should I do that or not? What do you think, in your opinion?
I'll answer you as a player, not as a guest on your program, not as a salesman. I think probably not. I think we're going to assume that we're talking about people who like the undersaddle sound, and we're going to go and say, you're certain you're going to get an undersaddle pickup, that kind of guitar. Should you get it in something like $600 or $9,000? I would say probably not. It's a diminishing returns sort of thing. The only caveat I would say is if you're playing gigs where you are getting the same, what's the word I want to use? If you're playing in a situation where the monitors and the amplifiers and the sound system is all you hear, and you don't get any natural in your lap sound, I would say, buy the most comfortable, least expensive version of the guitar you can find that has that pickup system in it, because comfort, playability, and maybe the design of maybe an OM is going to be more comfortable to you than a Dreadnought, and I say maybe because it's not automatic. However, if you're playing instances where you're sitting down, you're playing for an audience that is quiet enough that you also hear some of the unplugged sound, that can throw a little bit of a wrench in the works, and I don't know that it changes the answer. But I would, in short, I would say definitely go the route of spending less on the guitar if all you're hearing is the undersaddle sound anyway. And if you do hear some of the acoustic sound and it means it inspires you to play better, then I would probably raise the bar and spend more on the guitar. But I still wouldn't go for a D45 priced instrument in this respect.
I love this. I've completely thrown a cat amongst the pigeons right now in the chat with that question. This question is the kind of question that's asked for years and years and years on forums all over the interwebs.
Yeah.
Discussed ad nauseum, and will be discussed for the rest of time. I love it. So let's go see what our friends say, and I'll tell you what I think. Maybe I'll change my mind when I've read this. Dang, those pickups. Make a piece of sound like a dove. Spoon. Ah, welcome, my friend. Microphones can make a guitar sound more like the guitar, but mics also alter the sound. No two mics sound the same, preamps, etc. Totally agree. Mics have their own sound as well. I've got a video on my channel comparing a few mics, and a mic naturally has its own EQ as well. The room also influences the sound as well. The preamp influences the sound as well. Sometimes you might EQ it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, totally agree with that. A mic has its own personality too, like a pickup has its own personality as well. But I was just can you just stop flying? I've just got 10 minutes left. Seriously. Just stop the plane. Seriously. So, Spoon, can you hear them where you are? Like, Spoon hears them a few minutes before me, so he needs to text me to tell him. Okay. Well, where was I? I forgot what I was saying now. I forgot. Let me go back to the chat. So, microphones, yes, I agree. But that can be good and bad, because maybe you don't want the sound of the room when you hear it at a gig. That's a whole new conversation. What's going on with the swearing? We're very passionate today. Pickups. Okay. Teaspoon says, don't get so technical. Yeah, thanks for the technical explanations. I removed the this is another thing. I removed the undersaddle pickup from my old Yamaha and it sounded much better. This is another thing I've discussed in some videos in the past. This undersaddle pickup you're seeing here is kind of a flexible, soft material. Is that absorbing some of the vibrations going through into the top of the guitar? That's a whole nother conversation. Maury and myself have discussed that a bit and said, well, not really, but you could argue that it does. And that's why Maury's a fan of the Trance, I presume. And I will say this, even if there is no difference, it's nice knowing there's nothing under your saddle, in my opinion. It's just nice to know that it's not there. So that's another thing. And then Spoon says, does anyone buy a D45 only to gig it through a speaker? Okay, I went a bit too extreme with a D45. I should have said HD28, okay. But I would argue that some do. I would argue that some people do gig a D40. And I'll tell you why, Spoon. And I thought you would have said this. Some people don't care about pickups and that sound so much. Some people want to be playing a D45. Some people would say, well, it feels better. And in my mind, I know I walk on stage with a D45 or, again, HD28. They just want to know that they're playing that instrument. And some people don't think like me with the pickups. The other week on my live stream on Sundays at 4 p.m. EST, I played, someone said play the OMJM with this pickup, or similar to this pickup, not exactly the same. And everyone said, well, that guitar sounds great. And I wanted to say, you're not hearing the guitar. As we learned today, you're hearing the pickup. But I wonder if people were watching and thinking that looks nice, and therefore they thought it sounded nice. There's so many different factors here with this stuff. It's not just about the actual tone, is it? It's also about the visuals. Like I said, if you walk on stage with the Woodstock, people are going to think about you a certain way before you even play the first chord. Where if you walk on stage with a D45, people are going to think, well, they probably think that you're rich, but the visuals can influence the performance, I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. Do people put? Well, they for BMO they made a D45 retro. I don't know who bought them. Hey, if I was a touring musician with a record deal, I would have got one. The 40 series are the price out because in the room sound plugged in. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I agree. But again, that was a bad example. It's more about the. I should have said D28. I shouldn't have said D45 because that triples the whatever price. That was a silly thing to say. Would you play a Woodstock or a D28? Being much closer in price than a D45. Is the HPL a different neck profile? Thicker, wider for larger hands?
Not necessarily. I'd have to double check the specs, but it feels like it's the modified low oval or low profile, and it's not radically different from anything else we're playing today.
Spoon said he did hear a plane. That's the same plane, Spoon. I just realized I got my window open as well. That's why.
You know what we should do, Aaron, before we go? We should put the screen back up. Can you tell the difference in the planes?
Oh dear. One day
next week.
Well, when I want to start flying again, I'll appreciate the fact I'm near the airport. I was making the video. I did the video the other day, that product demo. I did the looper, and I sat here and I kept like retaking it because the plane was flying. So I kept do it again, do it again. It was all right though. It's fine. For years, Stills played a Takamine while Crosby was playing his 68 D45 through pickups. Someone to play the guitar that inspired their music. Right, that's what I was saying. Yeah, and they can play blindfold. Yes, I agree. There's something so important about being happy about what you're playing, and even visually what people are seeing. And it's all kind of, for me, it's a whole package, right? And don't forget, today we talked about really the most kind of common pickup that you can get. In the future, we could talk about dual source pickups with microphones in them, and the trance that picks up more of the top of the guitar, the K and K. Today's example was the most kind of common. That's why I wanted to do it. And it comes in these guitars from the factory. I've cried thinking about the huge square holes Stephen Stills had cut into his Martins for the pickup control. Well, that's another whole episode there, Chris, isn't it? I mean, if you're on stage and you need to turn the treble down or something, maybe it's justified. I don't know. I never do that. I use pedals, but maybe. That's why Bags made the VoicePrint DI. They're saying that now you can do it from the app rather than doing it from the guitar. But there is still something nice about having those controls in front of you. I still think that those things have their place. Tommy Emmanuel plays the Maton with the controls here. He changes the controls on every song. So there are times you need that. Yeah, there's times that you need that. Anyone only playing a D45 as a pickup guitar owns other high-end guitars that cost more. They're exceptional. Mortals would want to play it when not plugged in. I'll never forget, I was playing my HD28 Retro in an Irish pub one night, and this Martin fan said to me, Martin guitars shouldn't have pickups in them. Hey, fine. 747.
Yes, thank you.
Please return your guitar to its original upright position. Never got plain jokes. Well, I tell you what, there's nothing plain about that Woodstock guitar.
Oh, now we're getting tired. Low-hanging fruit now, it's 5:30.
I don't know anything about pickups and prefer acoustic without bags or anthems, etc. Well, the whole thing about a pickup is if you play on stage, you probably need one and are interested in them. I always say to people, and even Lloyd Baggs said on my interview with him, if you don't need a pickup, or in certain guitars, he wouldn't install a pickup. So the D45 was a really bad example. With say a D28, it really comes down to, are you going to plug in? I always say to people on forums and stuff that ask about pickups, if you plug in once a year, just get the M80 that I reviewed the other week. It sounded pretty good. Sound hole pickup, put it in, plug it straight in, take it out, nothing changed in the guitar. If you play, here was my argument for years. When I used to play 5 or 6 times a week, I was only looking for guitars with pickups in them. That's why I was so into the Australian guitars, like the Cole Clark and the Maton. I wasn't even looking at guitars without, and that's why I went down the pickup journey when I discovered Martin, because I was looking for guitars with the pickups, and they don't offer many with them in. Yesterday I played the D28 with the Trance, and I thought it sounded really good. So we'll definitely talk. We've talked about that in the past, but we could talk about that again in the future to do the same kind of test. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of undersaddle pickups these days anyway. I just thought today would be a good thing to do. And also the reason I wanted to do this today is that coincidentally, last Tuesday they released the new Acoustasonic, the Jazzmaster, and they put a setting in there which is only the raw pickup. And I thought that was really weird because they've got all that technology in there to make it sound really good. And I do think it sounds really good plugged in. That's the kind of guitar you want to plug in. But they've put access to the raw basic pickup now in the new one. And I was watching Anderton's in the UK, and they were demoing it, and it really made me laugh because Lee Anderton, who I think is great by the way, he put it on that setting and he played it, and he said to his friend, "Oh, that's really impressive. This little guitar sounds like, with that basic piezo sound only, sounds like a big guitar with it. That's really impressive." And I thought to myself, not really. It's because that pickup evens the playing field. And I actually like the technology in the Acoustasonic that does the modifications. I would gig something like that if I really wanted to have like a stage instrument. I'd probably keep my Martin with the I love the Trance because there's nothing under saddle. It's very non-invasive. It sounds probably better than most things plugged in my opinion. It sounds really good. So I'm not a huge fan of undersaddle pickups by themselves, but I wanted to do this test today for anyone shopping for a guitar or whatever, just to show what they sound like. And this is great, Maury. There's not many videos online of like direct recordings of pickups. I think this is quite valuable for people. And that's why I started doing that as well. Because before I started doing it, I think only Doug Young had like direct pickup recordings. A lot of people will record the pickup in the room through an amp with a mic, and then I don't think that really shows you what it sounds like. So I don't know. We had a fan of the pickup here today. So if you thought that sounded good today, maybe that will help influence your decision of what guitar to get. But we will cover some more. We've covered the Trance on here, and we've had the Anthem on here. We've had the Fishman Aura VT Enhanced, which I think is a great system. Yeah. We could, if you want, I mean, I feel like a lot of people aren't interested in pickups as much as I am, but we can do more of those in the future. If you want us to, let us know. But I do think that was an interesting thing to prove today, that the undersaddle pickup, or A, what it sounds like compared to a mic, and B, how it levels the playing field. And I kind of thought that would be the case, but it was interesting to hear it, and I hope people found that useful and valuable.
I do too, and really, if anybody in the chat is watching and you're thinking about buying something like a 00012E or the D12E, which is a great example, if you're going to be playing it plugged in all the time, maybe buy the one that's more comfortable for you, or the one that you like the looks of better. And that's assuming that one of them is more comfortable than the other, which is a little bit of an unfair assumption too. But maybe what this program can show you is, if you found you like the undersaddle sound, you don't have to get the biggest guitar, you don't have to get the most expensive guitar. And if you're narrowing it down to 2 or 3 choices, don't let the size of the guitar be a factor. Maybe does that make sense, Aaron? Yeah,
I just wanted to clarify, this is kind of a weird video for me, because don't forget about the Anthem that comes in Martin's. Don't forget about the Aura VT Enhanced. Don't forget that Maury installs the Trance really well. Like that's a great system. I just want to make it clear that we did these pickups today. This is just a certain style of pickup. Some people like them, and this is a whole. There's no perfect solution with this stuff, because this might feed back less than say a K&K, but a K&K might have the sound you want. This is such a big topic. I just want to put that little disclaimer in here. This is just a small snapshot of what I talk about, and with pickups. I could talk about pickups for years without stopping, because there is no, it's all a compromise. That's the thing. It's all a compromise. And I'm going to have to cut it off there. Today was purely about how does that undersaddle pickup sound in different guitars, because I've not seen anyone do that comparison. And I personally found it very interesting to do it. And yeah, it was really cool. It was fun, yeah. So thank you for watching. Happy birthday, Rosanna. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for the emails. I've had several emails now with pictures and videos. I always need more, so start planning ahead, please. Let me just throw the email address up there one more time. And yeah, send us some. Oh, man, I could have just closed my window. Remind me to do it next week.
Jeez.
Well, it's you know it's like 2 feet away. Send us some more stuff to read out on the show. And thanks, Maury, as always. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell. Don't forget to check out Maury's music and ring the bell. He's got his inventory live every week, and he's also going live doing the virtual what do you call it? Where you show a customer the guitars by request.
Oh,
live by request.
Live by request. Yep.
And the concert once a week as well. That's right. And something you're probably even less interested in. I finally got to order my Neural DSP Quad Cortex. But I don't think you really care about guitar pedals. But when I get it, I'm going live. But here's my angle, Maury. I'm going live with the acoustic because everyone's shredding through it. I'm going to do a live the day I get it. Watch out for me. I'm going to go live. I'm going to do unboxing. I'm going to play through it with the acoustic guitar and the microphone because no one's done that yet. And this pedal's interesting because it'll actually capture pedals. You could capture like IR pedals and really techie, geeky stuff like that. But I'm sure you don't care about that stuff. But I will do it anyway. Thanks, everyone. It's just great to hang out with you all. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
I'll see you during the week with some pre-recorded stuff and maybe some live stuff. Check out Maury. Thank you, Maury, for your time. We will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and thank you to Spoon. Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you here.
Forward.
Later. I got to go catch my plane.